From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning as the Federal Reserve meets in just minutes. And that first of 2 days of the FOMC meeting in the month of September heats up with those interest rate spikes and the battling of inflation. All the latest details you should expect. The Fed governors determining where they're going to take your inflation and the impact on everything else. Number one, the impact on your benefits. Your benefits are going up a lot. Thousands of dollars are landing in your wallet and tens of thousands of dollars over a generation. Why? Because inflation is tracking so high. And well, the latest calculation, the latest breaking news you need to know based upon what the Federal Reserve is doing today in this broadcast. Then we'll be turning over to everything else that's being impacted by what the Federal Reserve is doing today. The 2-year bond surging even higher. How high is it going? Oh, baby, it is going really high in the last few days. And on my projection coming up in today's recording. Then the impact on the 30-year mortgage rate fixed. That is tracking higher, and I'm saying it's going to 7%. What will be happening? All the latest details on the housing market and its implosion left and right. Next, over to cryptocurrency as it trends downward, and the impact felt left and right. And finally, your stimulus checks. Massive stimulus checks are coming to you. And we're going to meet one viewer who's gotten $177,000. You can as well. How many stimulus checks are there? 300 possible checks. How much? $300,000. How do you get them? You become a member. Become a member to this incredible family, the Purple Power family, where viewers are cleaning up with massive stimulus checks in their wallet. I'll show you how to become a member in this video, how to get these incredible checks, what are these incredible checks, and everything you need to know from the shores of Santa Monica, California this morning. Because the toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, and the coffee is brewing. The Fed governors are also meeting. And the Fed governors are hiking those interest rate spikes across the board. Everything you need to know heats up in this big broadcast from the shores of Santa Monica, California, with the latest details on the Federal Reserve, the latest details on their interest rate spikes, and the implications of the recession and inflation are going to be covered in today's recording as well. Let's get to the breaking news. Let's get to mornings. It all starts right now for September 20th, 2022. And good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a beautiful day. It is gorgeous here along the coast of Santa Monica, California. Big week underway as the Federal Reserve meets today and tomorrow to determine how much to raise your interest rates to battle inflation. And then tomorrow we have the unemployment numbers being released. We have the latest details on that big raise of your benefits and that massive stimulus of checks. Stay the big second half. But first, become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. We're going to meet some viewers who've gotten nearly $200,000. $200,000 from 4 stimulus on this channel, and I'm going to show you how to get them as well in this big broadcast. But first, good morning. How are you? Hope you're having a beautiful day, and thank you for joining me on a beautiful morning's broadcast live on air. The Federal Reserve is established for 2 purposes. 1, to make sure that price stability is there, which is battling inflation. Number 2, maximum employment. The Federal Reserve also gives you guidance ahead of time before they do something. And their meeting starts today for 2 days. It's the September FOMC meeting. Why? To battle inflation. How? By raising interest rates. Last year, in spring of last year, 2021, I was the first and only American financial broadcast to report that the U.S. economy would have pervasive and very high inflation. I put it at 8%, and I said it was not going to go away. That was spring of last year. It came in at 8% in December. Then the Federal Reserve battled it by raising interest rates. How many? How many times? The Federal Reserve has been raising interest rates since January this year. 7 meetings over 7 months. They were off in the month of August. And how much have they reduced inflation? Nothing. They barely even reduced it 1 percentage point since the month of January. The last 2 meetings were June and July, And those were 75 basis points. They were off in August. They gave you guidance over the last few weeks. What they said was they're going to continue to raise those interest rate spikes until they bat inflation, until they get it to 2%. So how long would that take? In my projection, it would take all the way into next year. Absolutely all the way into next year. That would mean you have interest rate spikes all the rest of this year and continue thereafter. That was their guidance, and their meeting starts today for 2 days. They're going to do 75 basis points today and tomorrow. That's a no-brainer. And they're likely to say that they're going to continue with this until they get inflation to their target percent of 2%. That's also no-brainer. But the part of this that gets really bizarro is that Wall Street has been betting against the Federal Reserve's own words. And Wall Street believes the Federal Reserve is going to stop this after this meeting. Not happening. And Wall Street has not embedded the risk into the markets that the Federal Reserve does another interest rate spike at the next meeting. They are. And with that, the question mark is, will the Federal Reserve be a little bit more pronounced and say, we have more interest rate spikes for the whole rest of this year? We will see, but they are going to do those more interest rate spikes for the rest of this year. They're likely not to give you a number with a 75 or a 50 basis point increase, but they're likely to say they're going to stay their course. And this is big because this is inflation. Your benefits are going up a lot, thousands of dollars, not just this year, but a lifetime. Some of you can say tens of thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars and more money. Why? Because inflation is at the highest level of a generation. And yes, your benefits are going to go up a lot. You need to celebrate. This is you if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and rural benefits. Because inflation is so high. This is what the Federal Reserve is trying to battle. Some of you are going to see 5,000, some of you are going to see thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars over a generation. The Federal Reserve meets today after a series of economic data that was released last week that showed inflation is really high. The CPI, the PPI, and the retail sales release last Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday all showed that the headline inflation is basically flat, and that the component inflation, the core inflation, is still going higher. That's great news for you and your benefits. We'll go over all that news of your benefits in just a second. But the issue at hand is the Federal Reserve meeting today, tomorrow, and battling the situation for inflation. And the Federal Reserve is likely to do 75 basis point this month and every month thereafter and continue it into middle next year. Yet Wall Street does not have that risk bedded into the markets. And at issue is the impact on that. Let's look at the breaking news of what's impacting this today. First, we have the bond yields really tracking higher based upon the news today. We have the 2-year bonds, and also we're going to have that 30-year fixed mortgage rate. So the 2-year bond, featured on this channel since last Tuesday, was at a 3.7% yield before the CPI for inflation was released last Tuesday. It shot up to 3.79 on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, featured on this channel, it shot to 3.8. On Friday, it was at 3.9. This is a 2-year bond from a 3.7 to a 3.9 in just 2 days. My projection is that the 2-year bond being traded up by the bond traders is going to go to 4.0 by the end of the month. Where is it right now? It's at 3.977. So I got that one almost right. We're almost there. It's up 3 basis points right today, level we've not seen since 2007. Why? The bond traders are trading up the bonds because they believe that the Federal Reserve is going to come in with that interest rate spike today and tomorrow. That's why stocks are down, bonds are up, and the Federal Reserve more aggressively. What am I also projecting? The 30-year mortgage rate fixed will go to a 7%, I'm projecting. Here's what happened. The 30-year mortgage rate was at a 2 and a 3% over the last 2 years. Then it shot up to about 6% in the last few days. It's going to 7% is my projection. Why? Because the housing market is getting hit by the impact of those interest rate spikes from the Federal Reserve. Now sit back if you think right today. This is September, and we have an interest rate spike for the Federal Reserve in September, October, November, December, and middle of next year. Imagine what it's going to do to rates. The mortgage rate is clearly going to go higher. I'm projecting 7%. The 2-year bond is clearly going to go higher. I'm projecting 4%. It's nearly there. It's nearly there, 3.977. That's an easy projection. And what is this going to impact? It's going to impact industries left and right. We saw the impact of this week in the housing market. The existing home sales down, the new home starts down, and the builder's confidence was released yesterday, and it was down as well. The builder's confidence released yesterday showed an implosion of that number. Dropping to a 46, less than 50 is a negative number, and that's the 9th consecutive month that builders posted a negative sentiment. That is, as the 30-year fixed mortgage is only at 6%. If it goes higher, no one's going to be buying. It's a soft market. More than half the builders in our survey report that they have to do incentives to bolster their sales, says Robert Dietz. We learned this week that the home sellers can't sell their homes. And last month, 19% of them were cutting the prices. This month, 25% are cutting the prices. The average price of a U.S. home is now 14% of them are below last year's level. 40% of them are below 2019 levels. The number of days on the market, the houses are increasing, and the inventory is growing. That means more price erosion left and right. And that is because that the homes are becoming unaffordable. And imagine what happens when the 30-year fixed mortgage rate goes to 7%. It becomes hideously unaffordable. Housing market is in a recession. Housing market is in recession. What's also in a recession is the stock market. And the stock market will go further down. 50% down is where stocks go in a recession. We have some corporate earnings minutes ago. Earnings recession underway? Absolutely. Let's look at those earnings numbers minutes ago. Ford is now trading down 5% in pre-market trading when it says it's going to take a $1 billion hit because of supplier costs and part shortages in this economy. The President of the United States said the pandemic's over, and that caused Moderna to fall 3% in pre-market trading. Then we have Nike down 2.2% as it was downgraded from Barclays from overweight to equal weight. And finally, Western Digital is down 2% in pre-market trading because Deutsche Bank downgraded them from buy to a hold. Stocks down. Housing imploding. What else is coming? Layoffs. A new report released minutes ago that says layoffs are coming. Mark Zandi, chief economist of Moody's Analytics, featured on this channel for a long time, says there's going to be more layoffs. You need to be preparing for it. Those layoffs that have already hit have been Best Buy, Ford, HBO Max, Peloton, Shopify, Walmart, and Wayfair. But a new survey says that 50% of firms say they're going to reduce their labor workforce in the next 12 months. Remember, labor falls apart later in a recession, not at the start of the recession. And this is why you have to get a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. The great news is I have massive stimulus checks for you right now. I have, for the members of this channel, 300 possible checks, $300,000 of checks for stimulus passed by the President of the United States, passed by Congress. They're incredible. They're absolutely incredible. Longtime viewer, longtime volunteer, and triple member to LALATE 1, LALATE 2, and LALATE 3, Dragon, she got another $30,000 this week, adding to her existing $140,000, bringing a grand total to $170,000 of forced stimulus she has gotten as a member from this channel. She joins Johnny, who started on a Monday and by a Wednesday had gotten $45,000 in 2 days by being a member of this channel. The next week, he helped his two mom and dad get each $50,000 in less than 3 days. Then he helped 20 plus friends and families get over $250,000 over the next few weeks. They also joined Lorraine, who is at $105,000. She's now at $150,000. And Mark, who is at $30,000, now is at $166,000. Linglen got 12 months of utilities this last week. Joined another viewer, got 12 months of utilities. 2 viewers got 14 months of rent. These are monster sums of money. Viewers are getting tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars by becoming a member to this channel. How do you become a member? You go around this video, join the channel, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP, and stay with me as I go over all these incredible checks with you on this channel and in this recording. The first 3 checks were passed by the President of the United States in the month of March, and they are absolutely incredible. Let's look at those right now. A, B, and C is what I affectionately call them. Massive stimulus. Massive, massive stimulus. Checks A, B, and C. Passed by the President of the United States in the month of March. Viewers have been getting them ever since. This is for you if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, and veterans benefits. Checks A, B, and C. Passed by the President of the United States in the month of March. Viewers have been getting them ever since. Then, Congress came around and took care of you. Congress got it done. Congress made it law. Congress passed a bill that established 7 more categories of checks, E through K, bringing it to now hundreds of checks. Then, over the last few weeks, I have found you more checks, and they're all in the membership newsletter. Checks L and M, N and O, P and Q. In that membership newsletter is where you get those checks. You become a member. Then in the membership newsletter, you apply for those incredible checks. Go down and apply for check A, all the way to check Q. And you deserve those incredible checks. Why? Because inflation is so hot. Now, the great news is that your benefits are going up a lot. How much? Some of you are seeing $5,000. Some of you are seeing tens of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. Why? Because inflation is so hot. Let's look at the data on that raise of your benefits and the breaking news that impacts it starting right now. Your benefits are tied to something called COLA, Cost of Living Adjustment. And we now have the date in which that COLA number is released, October 13th. That COLA is determined by 3 other numbers, the CPI-W for the month of July, the CPI-W for the month of August, and the CPI-W for this month. Well, here we go. You ready for the breaking news? The CPI-W for the month of July was 8.7. The CPI-W for the month of August, or at least last week, 8.9. So it went higher. So what is the CPI-W for this month? Well, how can you and I analyze this? The reason why is because even though the Federal Reserve meets today and tomorrow, they did not meet last month. And whatever they do today and tomorrow, it's too late in the month to impact inflation. It's too late in the month to impact the CPI-W for this month. So let's analyze where it is together right now as a Purple Power family. Jump in the live chat if you're a member, and let's go. And if you're a subscriber, let's do it right now. Get your pen and paper ready, loosen up your fingers and hands, put down that bacon, and let's do it right now. We're going to go over the component parts that go over that comprise inflation. And we're starting with a warm-up of 3 easy numbers. The easy numbers are, first, rent. Is the rent going down this month? Of course it's not. No one's cutting anyone's rent. And the rent did go up month to month compared to the month of July. In the month of August, it rose nearly 1 percentage point. Second warm-up, easy question. Is the medical bills going down? No, of course not. They went up 0.8% in the month of August compared to the month of July. So they're going up about 1%. That's easy. And the last question is the salaries. Are the salaries going down? Of course they are not. They went up 0.2% on September 13th CPI number. They went up in the personal consumption expenditure number as well. So those 3 numbers, easy breezy. All right, now let's go over the more difficult numbers. I need you in the live chat, and I want you to react to the questions the following. When I say something like, is butter going up or down? I want you to write butter up or down, and then comma your state. So, you're ready? Let's do the first one. Butter, is it going up or down in this month of September? My answer for here in California is butter up, comma, California. There you go. I'm saying butter up, comma, California. What are you saying? Jump in the live chat and write your response to that question for butter in the month of September. Next one, milk. Is the milk going down or is the milk going up the month of September? Here's my answer. Milk down, comma, California. I'd like to see your answer in the live chat right now. So there you go. Those are 2 of the items you would buy at the supermarket potentially. But let's now do a broader question. Let's do the whole supermarket. When you go to check out the supermarket, How are those items this month compared to the prior month? So the question is groceries. My answer, groceries up, California. I use the example of those golden raisins. Featured on this channel for the last 2 years for a lot of the cooking shows. I talked about it a lot because it's a very economical item that helped you deliver great baking products. The size of the box, about the size of my hand. The price over the last 2 years, $4. The price today, $15. Ridiculousness. So my answer is groceries up, California. What is your answer? Jump in the live chat right there. So there you go. Now let's go into our nearly final question and then the big final wrap-up question. The nearly final question is, where do you think the CPI-W then is for the month of September? July was an 8.7. August was an 8.9. Over the last few days when I've asked this question, people have been coming in really about an 8.7 to a 9.1. Again, it was 8.7, then it was 8.9. What is it for this month? My answer is 8.9, California. So jump in the live chat. What do you think that CPI-W for this month is right now? All right, great job. You're doing a great job. Let's do the final big question. How much do you think your benefits are going to go up when they're announced on October 13th? This is a really difficult question, and I may have it really wrong. You may have it really right. We don't know because it's not directly to the CPI-W. So let's say the CPI-W is 9.0. It's not exactly your benefits go up 9.0. They can go up less, they can go up more. It's a little bit complicated, but let's just try it. Jump in the live chat. When that COLA is released October 13th, how much will your benefits go up? The Seniors League had initially said 10%, then they said 8.7%. What am I saying? I might be high. I'm saying 11%. What do you say? Jump in the live chat and put your projection across the board. And there you go. There is that incredible raise of your benefits. That is what Jay Powell is battling today. Inflation, as the graphic says. Jay Powell's battling inflation. And the great news is inflation has not come down, so you are going to see a lifetime of massive money. Now, the other money that's available for you, that's absolutely incredible, and you heard Dragon get it, and Margaret, and Johnny, and Nisi, and Lorraine, and more, is those 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state. Absolutely incredible. They are just huge. 300 checks, up to $300,000. You go get them. Let's go over those incredible checks right now. Those incredible checks are just huge. The first 3 passed by the President of the United States. The next checks passed by Congress. And where do you get them? First, you become a member under this video. Then you get that membership newsletter and go right in and apply for check A, apply for check B, apply for check C as well. And where do we have those checks right today? So let's jump into all those incredible checks with a preview of one of the most important things to understand is how many checks there are. Check A is a $6,500 to $12,000 for stimulus check in every U.S. state. Check B is about 80 plus checks. Check C is about 80 checks, but with 12 places to get it. E through K, 7 checks, and then L through O, lots of checks. That brings you up to 300 checks, and that is why you need this. The worksheets. Where are the worksheets? They are in the membership newsletter. When you become a member, when you apply, when you open that membership newsletter, you go down in there and there are the worksheets and it has a place for you to keep track of all those incredible checks you're going to apply for. You ready to look at the checks? Let's look at those incredible checks right now. They are just absolutely incredible. Check A is a $6,500 to $12,000 for stimulus check in every U.S. state. This is the check that Spelly got. $6,500 to $12,000. Go get that incredible check. How do you get it? Become a member. Check B is the check that 2 viewers out of Florida got. They got 80 to 100 checks. Incredible. Look at that incredible check. That is just huge. That incredible check is a check that Frank Mancuso got and another viewer out of Florida got. She got nearly 100 to 200 checks from that. It's just absolutely incredible. Check C is for your rent and your utilities and your mortgage assistance. And it's just huge. Again, those are the first 3 checks passed by the President of the United States by executive action in the month of March. What followed thereafter? Well, what followed after that were more checks, 7 categories of checks that are all in the membership newsletter. And those next checks for members to get are the following. At check E is $7,500. Incredible. Check F, $4,000 for a vehicle, for a great new car. G, 30% off. H, $2,000. Huge. And then, and H is for a brand new refrigerator, a brand new stove, just great stuff. I'm getting you appliances here. Check I, 8,000. Check J, 8,000. Check K, $14,000. Insane. There you go. More checks coming. Here we go. You ready? Check L, found by me for you. It's $100,000 of low interest free money. Check M, $4,000 of grant money. Just huge. N, incredible. One of the best checks I've ever had on this channel. Check N. It is $100 for a free computer, free laptop, or free tablet. Do you want a new computer? That's incredible. $100 plus free internet. That is check N for members in the membership newsletter. Check O, 0 down payment, 0 closing costs, and 0 credit check, and 0 insurance for the purchase of a first home. And then P is if you want to refi that home. It's 3% down and $8,000 of free closing costs. My goodness, that is just absolutely incredible. And there you go. Look at those incredible checks. 300 checks and yield about $300,000. I literally got a check for everything, from the utility bill to the refrigerator, from the car to the computer, from the internet to the heating bill. I literally got something for all different crosses of your life. And in the big second half, we're going to go over more about these incredible checks one at a time from the shores of Santa Monica, California. We have a lot coming up. The Federal Reserve in meeting today is doing the first of 2 days in that September FOMC meeting. I'm projecting the following things to happen today and tomorrow. First, 75 basis point from the Federal Reserve being announced for the month of September. Guidance that the Federal Reserve is going to stay with those interest rate spikes until they get it to 2%. I mean, this is basic stuff because he said this before. And potentially some guidance that they're going to continue to do this interest rate spikes into next month. They're actually going to use those words. I'm also projecting that you're not going to see the real specificity of the debate by the governors today. What happens? They release the minutes, the transcript, the notes of today's meeting, not today, but several days thereafter, almost like a week or two from now. And those September FOMC minute notes are going to be big because you're going to see a governor say, I think maybe we should do 100 basis points. You're going to see a governor say maybe we should do 50 basis points. Then you're going to have some governors perhaps talking about the longevity. I think we should do this, for 4 or 5 months and stay with it. We need to really watch those minutes, and those minutes not coming out today, but shortly thereafter. I'm expecting Wall Street to really implode, Wall Street to literally crash as it sees more of this data coming in for the Federal Reserve. That is all very predictable because the Federal Reserve has been saying they're going to do it. We'll have more about this, plus we'll be going more into these incredible stimulus checks. We'll be going more into your incredible benefit raises. We'll be going more into this incredible money for you in the big second half. All you have to do is become a member and get ready for that big second half. It's coming up in just 60 seconds for the shores of Santa Monica, California. The toast is toast and the butter is butter and the coffee is brewing. We are just getting started as Mornings LA continues on air.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues this big, bold, beautiful morning of September 20th on the shores of Santa Monica, California. Hope you're doing well. We got a jam-packed room. Don't forget to like the video. I don't always say that. Make sure you like the video, and welcome to that new member that is in the live chat. I couldn't see the name, but wow, big crowded room this morning. Great to see you all with me. It's September 20th, 2022, and it is day one of 2 days from the Federal Reserve meeting for those interest rate spikes. They're going to be raising interest rate spikes, raising interest rates to battle inflation. And that is going to negatively impact the economy. That, my friends, is why I have to get that fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. Let's go over these incredible checks more right now. 300 checks that yield about $300,000. You want to do the following. First, go onto this video, become a member. Become a member to LA1, LA2, or LA3, any of the three broadcasting channels in this family. Number two, get that membership newsletter delivered from me to you, automated Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right on the money, and go right and apply for each of those incredible checks. And number three, keep on applying for checks. What's important to remember is that if there's checks that you apply for today, you apply for more checks as well. So I had a great comment that came in from Ms. Dragons, who's in the live chat. I love her comment. Her comment was that she has binders in which she keeps track of the checks she applies for. This is a great idea and a great approach to it. Let's pull out those LALATE worksheets. The LALATE worksheets are in the membership newsletter, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. They're around the third line of the newsletter. Here they are. In the second page of the worksheets made in March, I put 20 rows for you to keep track of the different checks you're applying for. But clearly, there's more than 20 checks now. There's upwards of 300 checks. So I love Ms. Dragson's approach to it, because what she does is she keeps track of every check she's applying for in different binders. So you can take whatever I'm delivering to you and making it bigger and bolder. Why? Because look at this. This is how you should be spending your day. Watching the videos, and then when you're not watching the videos, applying for checks. You apply for a check, let's say, right after this video ends, let's say at 11 a.m. But you may not remember where you applied for, or how much you applied for, or what you put in the application. That's why you want to keep track of on notes. You want to keep track of where you applied for. And then you want to go and apply for the next check, and the next check after that. I use Johnny as an example. Johnny started on a Monday as a member of this channel. By Wednesday, he had $45,000 of checks paid out to him. 2 days. By Friday, he had $80,000, 4 days paid out to him because he became a member. But he didn't apply for just one check in 4 days. He had to apply for at least 15 different items, because I know how many he got approved for. He got approved for 7 items, were paid $80,000. So going off of, let's say, a 50% rejection rate, because you will have rejections, he got 7 items approved in 1 week at $80,000. Meaning he really kept track of where he applied for items. Imagine if you apply for 15 items in 7 days, it's hard to keep track of that, even the person with the best memory possible. And that is why this all comes together. The biggest check I have for you, $100,000. The smallest check, about $8,000 to $10,000. The fastest routing time, well, Johnny applied on Monday, and by Wednesday, which is really 2 days, he had $45,000. Yeah, you can get $45,000 in 2 days on this channel. And then literally a check for almost everything you want to think about. I have checks for brand new appliances. I have checks for cars. I have checks for computers. I have checks for rent, water, heating oil, electric. I have checks for mortgage. I have literally checks for repair of the home. I have literally checks for all different things And it's hard to think of something I do not have a check for. And these are absolutely incredible. Finally, the value. The value in becoming a member is just incredible. Imagine that viewers on average are getting tens of thousands of dollars, many viewers getting hundreds of thousands of dollars by paying a few dollars from membership. Most memberships, most Discords, most similar systems on YouTube and Discord are over $100 a month. And this is just a few dollars, where the average payout is tens of thousands of dollars. Where in any part of the US economy today can you pay a few dollars and you have the opportunity open to you to getting tens of thousands of dollars? That is incredible, great investment for you. So consider becoming a member, getting all those incredible checks right today, and go get them and dedicate yourself to applying for checks throughout the day and watching all the videos. Now let's go to those videos. What's important to understand today is that this is September. And we have talked a lot about the issue of September on this channel. What? Financial cliff. And I really got to tell you that that financial cliff is really hitting quite strongly right today. I've used this graphic, if I can find it fast enough, on this channel a lot. It describes the stages of the economy that I project we're going through. I found it. Here we go. So, earlier this year, I was the only American financial broadcaster to report the U.S. economy was going to suffer recession for 2 years. No one dared use the word recession in February this year. Jamie Dimon, head of JP Morgan Chase, would avoid the word, talked about vague things like downward or weakening, but never used the word recession. I said the recession was going to start next year for 2 years. Well, the heart of the recession is definitely next year. We are in a recession right now. But the financial cliff of September, look at that graphic. I've talked about this a lot. And what is a financial cliff? And why is it changing right today? A financial cliff is where people do not realize that something that was so complacent, so, normality for several weeks changes overnight. And that's right today. That is literally right this month of September. What is happening and where is my projections across the board? First, you already see in the 2-year bond. The 2-year bond was the 3.7% last week, the highest level since 2011. It's literally the highest level of generation. Today, it's a 3.977. I'm projecting to go 4%. I've been projecting to go to 4% since last week. I've been saying by the end of the month, maybe by the end of today, it could be 4%. That is a major financial cliff. That's changing very, very, very quickly. Mortgage yields. The 30-year fixed mortgage is really at 6%. I'm projecting that it goes 7% by the end of the year. That is really going to crush the housing industry. So imagine you can't sell a house with a 6% mortgage, where the mortgages were in May at 3%. Imagine 7%, really can't sell a home. People won't be able to sell the home. People who did not reduce the price of the home fast enough, people who did not cut the price of the home fast enough to get out, are not going to get out, and they're going to lose the home. And foreclosure is going to pick up, inventory is going to pick up, the housing market crashes fully just starting. This is not a housing market crash in the full magnitude across the board. Then the Federal Reserve, imagine the Federal Reserve is raising interest rates this month, next month, all the way into middle next year is my projection. Imagine what happens, and I haven't featured this at all on this channel. Imagine what happens to all those auto buyers from last year. Everyone and their sister and brother bought a car last year. And a lot are buying cars right now where the average payment per month is about $700. Imagine what the average payment on the car will be when you have 7 more interest rate spikes. Yes. People are going to look at that car in that driveway and say, why did I buy that car? I didn't bet on these interest rates spiking. And people will lose their cars. People will lose their cars because they won't have a $700 monthly payment on the car. They could have a $1,000 monthly payment on a car. That is $1,000 per month. That's $12,000 a year on a car whose average, that was on a car that's $40,000. So imagine you're paying $800, $900, $1,000 a year, a month, a year on a car that's only $40,000. That's like you're paying your entire life savings for a car. It's just crazy. Meantime, people are going to look left and right and say, where can I invest? There will be nothing to invest in. Stocks are down, but not as down as they will go. In a recession, if they go down 50%, they're not down 50% yet. They have a long way to go down. Cryptocurrency is really just starting to get bad. It hasn't started yet. Cryptocurrency, all last week, people were trying to say there's resistance there. It's holding. It's staying above this. It's staying above that. It's not staying above anything. Bitcoin was at 20,000 last week, then went to 19, then went to 18,000. Where am I projecting Bitcoin to end by the end of the year? LALATE is predicting Bitcoin to end by the year at $15,000 a coin. Yes. What about Ethereum? Ethereum is really at the cusp of $1,000. Where's that projected to end at the end of the year? I'm projecting to break under 1,000. It may break under $1,000 by the end of this week. That is a quicker, that is really at the cusp right there. It was just May, June, that crypto channels were reporting that Bitcoin was going to end the year at $100,000. Now it's going to end the year at about $15,000. That Ethereum was going to end the year at $10,000. Now it's going to end the year at $900. That Cardano and Doge and Shiba and all those wonderful coins were going to end the year at $5 and $10 and $12, or maybe even $1 for Doge. Now they are not doing well. Not doing well. The landscape is that you got to prepare accordingly. So what I'm doing, while I'm going over that narration for about 2 minutes, is to tell you this. I need to see you in the videos. I need you to be in the videos, because this is now the financial cliff. You don't disappear during the financial cliff and show up after you've fallen off the cliff. You don't show up in November, December, say, oh, I'm in trouble. Do you got some money for me? No. You show up now when the financial cliff is underway, because you need to know where it's going. Because no one really knows exactly where everything in this economy is going to go and when it's going to go there. We all know the housing market's falling apart. We all know that labor is going to fall apart. We all know that crypto is going to fall apart. But at what rate and when and how, you need to watch the videos, because the 2-year bond shows you it's happening very, very quickly. And in some cases, quicker than even I can project out. 4%, I said last week for the 2-year bond. It's 3.977 today, folks. It's just, things are moving faster than ever before. So I need you to watch all the videos. I need you in the videos, watching and understanding what happened to that economy today. Then I need you to spend the rest of the time that you have free getting checks. Get some checks, get some more checks, get some checks, get some more checks. Apply for checks at 11 o'clock when the video ends, or 10:30 when the video ends, before the noontime show. Then come back and learn a little bit more at noontime. Then apply for some more checks later in the day. Keep on applying for checks, because this is changing very, very quickly and very, very abruptly. And it's one of those situations where we had that joke 2 years ago, where people would show up in the live chat, 20 minutes into the video, say, what I miss. You can't do that with this economy. You can show up late in the video, but you can't show up 20 days thereafter and say, what I miss? The U.S. economy fell over a financial cliff. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, there is so much money for you to get. Go get it. The value of membership is there. Thousands of dollars of viewers are getting, tens of thousands of dollars of viewers are getting, hundreds of thousands of dollars of viewers are getting for just a few dollars of membership. You want to get that membership right today. The best return on its value anywhere you can find. Go right in this video, become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Paracast, VIP. Get that membership newsletter tonight. Go get those incredible checks. Get that worksheets in the membership newsletter. And I'll see you at 11 a.m. today as well. Then join me at 3 o'clock for a brand new afternoon show. Join me on LALATE 1 for that live show. Join me on LALATE 2 for that live show. And join me tonight at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time for a brand new Evenings LALATE as well. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, God bless. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful day, and stay with LA for more.